$35,000. The money does not flow directly. Instead, it appears to go from the U.S. subsidiary of the Qatar Investment Authority, a sovereign wealth fund, to HWA 555 Owners LLC. According to filings Trump sent to federal ethics officials, the Donald J. Trump Revocable Trust owns 30% of HWA 555 Owners LLC. And that trust, according to documents the Trump Organization submitted to authorities in Washington, D.C., was set up to hold assets for the exclusive benefit of Donald J. Trump. Trump, in other words, personally holds 30% of the space the Qataris are leasing. Strip away the layers, and it boils down to just the sort of arrangement the Founding Fathers feared. A foreign government, it seems, has been secretly paying the President of the United States for more than a year. Yet, with so many other scandals brewing, this one has managed to go entirely undetected. Until now. In order to understand why Qatar might want to funnel cash to the president, it's important to first understand U.S.-Qatari relations. A peninsula hanging off Saudi Arabia, smaller than the state of Connecticut, Qatar has played an outsized role in global politics for one reason: money. There are 77% more natural gas reserves sitting under Qatar than under the entire United States, helping make Qatar, on a per capita basis, the second richest nation on earth. Although Qatar doesn't share many American values, monarchs rule the country, and its labor abuses are legendary, it has long been an ally of the United States. Qatari troops fought alongside Americans in the Gulf War. Afterward, the tiny nation spent more than $8 billion on a military base hosting American troops near Doha, the Qatari capital, which has been a key center for operations in Afghanistan and Syria. America has other allies in the region, of course, including Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, but for years, the allies have been sparring among themselves. In 2014, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Bahrain pulled their ambassadors from Qatar, accusing the country of backing terrorists. In May 2017, Trump took his first trip overseas as president, visiting Saudi Arabia, a nation that had recently pumped more than $270,000 into the Trump International Hotel. In early June, the Saudis and several other Middle Eastern nations collectively cut off diplomatic ties with Qatar. Saudi Arabia also shut down its border with its neighbor, turning Qatar into a virtual island. President Trump left little doubt about whose side he was on in the dispute. During my recent trip to the Middle East, I stated that there can no longer be funding of radical ideology, he tweeted in June 2017. Leaders pointed to Qatar. Look. Qatar denied the charges and worked to defend its reputation, shelling out hundreds of thousands of dollars to lobbyists to vouch for the embattled nation in Washington. The Qataris also struck deals with American companies like Boeing and Raytheon, and, in a move that managed to evade detection, they figured out how to rent space inside Trump's most valuable property, apparently directing money to the President of the United States. The Qataris finished outfitting their new office space on the 43rd floor sometime after February 2018, when the Saudi dispute was still raging, according to someone who worked inside the skyscraper. In August 2018, Trump's partner Vornado filed a document with San Francisco officials about work being done on the premises, describing the Qatar Investment Authority Advisory USA, Inc. as a lessee. Construction crews built out an office, complete with intricate white lattice work in the entryway. After the hammer stopped banging, however, the space went unusually quiet. I never saw a single person enter the office other than construction, the person who worked in the building explained in a text message. I travel a lot, so I could have missed it, but definitely saw people in other offices. Always thought it was strange, the source added. Also strange. The lobby's long list of tenants made no mention of the Qatar Investment Authority. The website for the Qatar Investment Authority listed an office in New York, but it didn't say anything about one in San Francisco. When asked about this deal and others, a spokesperson for the White House replied in an email, "These are all questions for Trump Org, not the White House." For its part, the Trump Organization did not respond to a long list of questions. Spokespeople for Vornado and the Qatar Investment Authority declined to comment. It's unclear what, if anything, goes on inside the space that the Qatar Investment Authority is leasing.